I grew up watching stand-up. It was like a big thing that kind of we did in my family. But there was a point after college where I worked with a guy who also loved stand-up, and we dared each other. And that first night, and he's probably mad I keep talking about him like this. The first night he didn't go up, and I did. And now that was almost 9 years ago. I'm still doing it, and he's not. So, yeah. It felt right. It felt like when I was in high school and stuff, like I was a theater kid. But even like my whole life, like I just loved performing. But I was also way more of a kind of like a solo guy, you know? So like when you kind of add stand-up into it and it's just you and your jokes and the audience, like I like that. Like I never wanted to be in a band because I didn't want to rely on other people. I like the individuality of stand-up. Anything Sinbad did in the early 90s, that was like the big first inspiration. But then like, I mean, going forward, Daniel Tosh's album, True Stories I Made Up, I think is what it's called, and then Brian Regan Live were like the two like big inspirational ones. But like currently, the last couple of years, anything Dave Chappelle has done has been super inspiring. Tom Segura, love him. So anything like that. I love Conan. Conan's like if I can get on Conan, that's the one I really want to do. Comedy shows, I love. I always loved Arrested Development, Community. That was always one of my favorites. And then I mean, you know, I love SNL. But actually, you said sketch shows. The new one, I think it's called Tim Robinson Needs to Leave on Netflix. Like that absurd stuff. Like that really has just like gotten me, like really tickled me lately. But it's like a lot of that stuff. I mean, two off the bat like are Blazing Saddles and Caddyshack. Were my two favorite growing up. Who's doing theaters? Gosh, I mean, I'd love to go on tour with Tom Segura. That's a really interesting question. I've never thought about that. Like, who would I? There's comedians that I would love. It's like not even saying necessarily going on tour to like theaters and stuff, but like I love Rory Scovel. And then Daniel Van Kirk. Like, there's a lot of kind of local guys I'd love to work with. Just like in a comedy club setting would be great. Like, tour doesn't even have to mean, stadiums and theaters and stuff. Like, just doing clubs would be awesome. I mean, Jeff Ross, is the king. Jeff Ross and Dave Attell, those are 1 and 2, just for bumping mics and how good they are at roasting and how clever they are. Sarah Tiana, she's a monster at roasting, and I think she'd be really funny. And then I think this guy Paul Hooper, who is just a really, really funny guy, and then my friend Mike. I mean, I'm hoping in the next 2 years I get 2 years I get a late night spot. 3 years, I'm going to move out to LA. 5 years, I hope I'm a regular at all the major clubs. Comedy Store, Improv, Laugh Factory in Hollywood. So. I'd love to be better at sketch, and I would love to do an animated comedy. Like, I'm a big fan of like Rick and Morty and stuff like that, and like Archer, like good, solid, clever animated comedy. I'd love to be able to write one of those. That would be like and voice acting and stuff. Like, that would be my kind of dream. Everything online is at 67 Comedy, all spelled out. SIXSEVENCOMEDY. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all that stuff. You can search my fan page. Is that on Facebook, and then Brent Blakeney if you want my personal page. But it all just ties back to comedy. So. first night I ever did stand-up, the show I was working at, they had an open mic for like an hour, and then they had the main show. And the first night was this guy, Paul Hooper. He's out of Charlotte, lives in New York. He's a very funny guy. He tours all over the place. He's a great road comic, and should absolutely be so much more. He had this joke about clowns at a dog track. That was the entertainment. And the line he used was, it was a clown, it was John Wayne Gacy without the follow-through. And in that moment, I was like, I want to be that. And it's like, it's not even like the hardest I've ever laughed at a comedy show, but it's like, that was such a good joke. I was like, that's what I want to write. Be better. That's it's kind of a weird, intense thing I've been working on lately, but it's like, just like, let's enjoy ourselves and let's go out and be better people. And if I can influence that in any way, like, I hope I do. Hey everybody, this is Brent Blakeney, comedian out of Raleigh, North Carolina, but I'm here hanging out in Jacksonville, Florida. And make sure you check out my interview on acutiepie.com. That'd be dope. We're going to have a lot of fun. See you guys out on the road.